gone, still on the ride. Mike and Need be side by side, talking thrills from coast to coast, celebrating what we love the most. Turn it up, feel the vibe, join the thrill of this ride. Hold on tight, it's time to go. Here it is, Coaster Radio.
This is your announcer, Neil Patrick Harris. Welcome to the 20th anniversary season of Coaster Radio. Here are your hosts, my close personal friends, Mike Collins and E.B.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the original theme park podcast. You are listening to Coaster Radio. My name is Mike. I'm here with my friend E.B., and we are ready to talk theme parks and thrill rides.
That's right. It's the holiday weekend, Mike, so we're not only talking about theme parks and thrill rides, we're getting out and we're celebrating America. I've got some audio from my county fair in the second half of the show, but I think everybody is most looking forward to our annual tradition, the Sparktacular Exploosioloosa.
Tradition, nothing more American than the county fair and shooting off fireworks, man. That's America right there. So, and that's something we've done long term here. In fact, I mean, there are things that we always say go back to the beginning of the podcast, and they don't really. Maybe they go back to like season 6 or 7 or 8. This, though, we did season 1 of Coaster Radio. Yeah.
Absolutely. And this is something I think uninterrupted every single 4th of July. We have pulled off a Sparktacular Exploosioloosa. And yeah, I've got some good ones picked out, and we're going to go outside in the second half of the show, shoot them off.
So fun. People were asking about it in our Discord.
No doubt.
People are saying, do we get it this year? And the answer is yes. And I always like hearing it, but this year, because we do now put all of our shows on YouTube with video, you can see it. And I think that's going to be fun too.
And we've posted some video before, but not in the podcast itself. Because now, we are a video podcast fully and completely on YouTube. If you're listening to the podcast, you can watch the podcast too now. But second half of the show. But Mike, first half of the show is all news. Let's start with our first drop.
Man, oh man, I hate a first drop where we talk about a roller coaster closing. Although in this case, it's been a roller coaster that hasn't operated in a long time. It's been a long time.
This isn't actually closing. It's just like finally putting it out of its misery or finally burying it. What do you call this?
Yeah, I don't know. It's like one of those mob hits out in the desert, man, because this roller coaster literally is out in the desert. It's out in Primm, Nevada, which is the last town before you hit the California border? Is that what it is? Like, I know that when you drive from Las Vegas to California, like Southern California, you drive out of Las Vegas for 30 minutes, and then there's this like oasis out in the desert, and you see like hotels, but even more so, you see this towering roller coaster, and you might think it's a mirage. You're like, why would there be a roller coaster in the middle of the desert? But no, they built it out there back in the day. I think it was back in 1996, the world's tallest roller coaster, Desperado, and yeah, man, it ran beautifully for years.
And this is not, I mean, people talk about, there's a roller coaster that's at a hotel. It's all by itself. It's a standalone. And they're like, some rinky dink. No, this was a record breaking roller coaster at the time at the Old West themed Buffalo Bills, the hotel and casino. And yet, Mike, it's 44 miles south of Las Vegas on the California-Nevada border is where this is.
Yeah. This set a lot of records. At one time, it was the tallest roller coaster in the world. It had a drop of 225 feet. It went 80 miles an hour. So this was no rinky-dink roller coaster. It was from Aerodynamics. It was a long roller coaster, too. I think they said it was the 7th longest roller coaster in the world at 5,800 feet. It was intense, man. And it was a long roller coaster, too, from the moment it left the station to the moment it returned, 2 minutes and 43 seconds. It went around the property a lot. And it was one of those things that even if you weren't thinking of going to Buffalo Bills and gambling, you're driving down the highway and you're like, man, I've got like 4 hours to go before I get to California. Maybe I'll pull over for a pit stop here and check this place out. And I guess that's why they built it. You need something, just like Walt Disney said, you need the weenie to bring people down the street, something that draws people down. That's what that roller coaster did.
Yeah, and it looks great. It looks great out there, but lately it's just been disappointing everyone because you see this roller coaster and you're like, "Oh, look, a roller coaster." Yeah, it has not been operating for years. Finally going away now.
And they had other rides there too. They had a log flume. They had an SNS Space Shot, which I learned the SNS Space Shot tower went to Lost Island. They bought
is that
it.
where they got it from?
So
Okay.
that's where that went to. So it's a bummer, man, that these rides. I mean, this roller coaster is not going to be picked up and moved anywhere. It's just going to be torn down. But back in the day, it was famous. I remember Lance Burton, the magician, when he was doing yearly television shows, he did a death-defying escape where he was bolted down to the track.
Yes, we talked about that on the podcast. That was one of our video podcasts early on. Yes.
Yeah, and he had, I guess since the roller coaster is 2 minutes and 40 seconds, he tied himself up right around the 2-minute mark where it would, go by. And he had 2 minutes to, pick the locks and escape the shackles. And
before the roller coaster would run him down.
Yeah.
Well, we got to find that video. Yeah, look it up, everybody. It's a Lance Burton roller coaster. Yeah.
It's actually pretty good. Who knows if it was real or if...
I think it was real.
I don't know.
No.
My favorite part is, though, not to give it away, but of course he escapes, but he escapes 1 second before the thing rolls.
Oh, and rolls.
Him.
Yeah, he just kind of dives off the track.
and the camera does this zoom in on him, and he looks at the camera and goes, "Oh, that was stupid." It's just so great. It was so overly dramatic, and it made me laugh. Oh, that was stupid. You just have to watch it. Yeah, I don't know, but I remember
magic on television is one of the. Sorry, it's so stupid because it's it's television.
Sometimes they say that about things we do here at Coaster Radio. We go,
that was stupid.
There's been a few things over
when
the years
when you dive out of the way of the literal train wreck, right?
Yes, exactly. So
that was stupid.
Goodbye, Desperado. I am bummed. This is another situation of something that's out there that I wished I had pulled over on one of my trips to Southern California, but I never did. I was like, I got to get to Disneyland. I got to get to Universal. It was never I have time to do this.
The weenie wasn't big enough for you,
no,
huh?
It wasn't. But the problem, though, is that you could never be sure pulling off the road you'd get to ride the roller coaster. You could never tell
if it was open or not, right?
Yeah, and a lot of times people were saying you'd go, but they'd be like, yeah, we need 10 people to ride for us to send it up. And who's stopping there to do that? So
you're waiting in the queue line for more people to get in the queue line before they'll even run it. I do remember those days when they would run it like that. That's funny.
Aren't there's some roller coasters like that?
Oh, there still are, Vegas, sure.
And, where you got to wait for enough weight in the train or whatever. So, but I don't know. At least we've got pictures of Desperado.
I hope they play the song Desperado.
Yeah, that's right. They should.
Yeah.
The Eagles.
Mm-hmm. Desperado.
Yeah. As the Big Lebowski said, not the Eagles, man. Yeah.
All right, let's keep talking news. We got some good quick hits.
Quick hits.
I wish we could curse on this podcast sometimes because the Big Lebowski did not say, not the Eagles, man. He said, not the effing Eagle. And it's just so much funnier. But kids are listening, dude. Can't do it.
That's fine.
Can't
fine.
All right. It's all right.
I think this first quick hit, it really could have been the first drop because
yes.
And I think this news is, of course it did. The Siren's Curse tilt coaster got stuck.
Yeah, this is amazing to me. So first, just so we should tell people who don't know, I'm sure that if you're listening to the show, you probably already know about this news. But when was it? Was it Saturday of opening weekend of this ride? I guess the coaster tilted down to its position.
Right, so the riders were facing straight down on the tilt coaster at Cedar Point.
Yep. All systems were go, but then something happened. Some type of safety system said, whoa, wait, something's not ready. And it just stopped in that position for 10 minutes or so.
Yeah. I don't know. Nobody knows. The park obviously is not trying to, tell us exactly what went wrong. Right. I mean, you could make the case that everything went right, because if there was some sort of malfunction or a sensor that wasn't working, you would prefer to be locked in place and not released into the ride when it's not ready for the cars to be going through. But they tilted and then they were stuck. And I heard some people were saying, 4 or 5 minutes, and other places I was reading it was like 15 to 18 minutes. So it's somewhere in between, but that's a long time to be locked into a roller coaster car facing 90 degrees straight down.
Yeah. Pretty exciting for some, I think, probably a little scary for others. But then what they did, I heard, and I have no, this was not released by the park or anything. This was just rumor, that an engineer from Vekoma was on site, climbed up there, and was able to return the tilt mechanism back to horizontal. Mm-hmm. And then they didn't evacuate everybody, though. They actually just were able to reset the roller coaster, and then it was able to go on its journey. It tilted back down, it released, and went on its way. So not a giant big deal. But one thing I found interesting, and somebody brought this up somewhere that I was reading, that they tested the ride 5,000 times before opening weekend, and that did not happen ever. And then so boom, there you go. It's just, kind of the way things go sometimes. Opening weekend, the ride gets stuck. But here's my thought, EB. I was thinking about this. I think this just adds to that ride's mystique and lore, just because it makes it that, people are going to be talking hey, did you hear that thing got stuck in the vertical position for 10 minutes? It just makes it that much more interesting to me and alluring. Something like that could happen to me. It's going to be like the rollback on Top Thrill Dragster. Maybe you were hoping for that to happen.
I'm not hoping for that to happen. That sounds incredibly uncomfortable, and I don't want to do that at all. Also,
I was wondering,
what about, at least it got stuck in the vertical position, and I'm assuming the track was lined up at least.
Yeah.
What if it was stuck halfway, like a 45-degree tilt? Then I'd be terrified.
That would be a little scary, because at least if you're locked in, you're well, if this thing lets go, we know we're just going to go through the course. But yeah, that is interesting. And I wonder if that's even possible, just the way the mechanics work and stuff. But,
I don't know. But I would not want to be stuck in the laying down position. This is not a coaster that looks comfortable like that, because you're just sitting with over-the-shoulder restraints. You don't want to be hanging like that. And I don't know what direction the coaster, were you in the sun or are you in the shade? Where's the sun in that situation? Because it's hot. It's been hot.
I was wondering about how that would feel, because, I've been in similar situations. So have you, on rides like SheiKra and Griffin, B&M dive coasters where you are kind of hanging
and you
over
pause,
the edge.
Right? There is a pause.
Right? It's not exactly the angle that Siren's Curse is, but your body weight is against the restraint and stuff. So I'm curious. I know nothing of the restraints on Siren's Curse to know if that would be uncomfortable after a while. But thankfully, most people agreed it was 10 minutes. That's not too bad. That's fast to get the things reset and then put back down again. But man, that's a good story to tell.
Yeah,
you're
it's
gonna
pretty
be telling
great.
friends about that. I love a good story. Something that happens to you in your life, and then you've got a party story for life that you can tell at parties.
I once got stuck on it. No, you didn't. Shut up.
Yeah. What's your party? Do you have a story of something that happened to you in your life that is a hit at parties? You always here's my story of something crazy that happened to me, and everybody loves it at parties.
You know what? The NPH story is a pretty good one.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's
the
a good
NPH,
one. Yeah.
Our relationship with Neil Patrick Harris and getting on How I Met Your Mother, it starts a big conversation.
Yeah,
that's a big one.
You know what's great about that is since How I Met Your Mother is on Netflix, and when that story comes up, people are like, oh my God, I wish I could see that. It's so easy to grab it on your phone. It's well, here, let me show you the exact moment of that. Mine is when Jerry Lewis cursed at me.
Oh, that's a great one. Yeah. I love that one.
That's one that people love. They loved just the setup of that.
What did he say? Tell it, because it's a quick one. Tell the story.
Yeah. So he was getting an award, and I was asked to videotape him giving a speech backstage. Not even a speech, just interview him backstage about what this meant to him. And so I'll tell this very quickly. So his minion came in and he said, "Yeah, set the shot up right here. He'll come and sit in this chair and do it." And he said, just be ready, because he's going to be kind of grumpy. He doesn't like getting up in the morning. So we did it. We set everything. The lighting was perfect. That old bastard walks in and sits down in a chair 15 feet away. And so the guy comes up to him and goes, hey, obviously saying, hey, can you move over? And he's like, I'm not fucking moving. Let them fucking move. Okay, so that's what he says. So now I'm like, shit. Now I got to move all this stuff over. And by the way, EB, it's in a room full of executives from my company, from the CEO, the CFO, the chief operating officer. They're all in there.
Everybody wants
director
there
meetings.
to see him.
Everybody's
Of course.
there. He's yelling the F word at me.
You've got the
and
tripod,
everybody's heads are turning.
the microphone, the power supply, the lights, all of it's built and ready to go with this chair, and he's over in that chair.
Yeah, and he's yelling, he's screaming and yelling. And I look over, the chief operating officer, who's a younger guy, is laughing at this point because he's like, oh, this is going to be a show now because Jerry Lewis is angry. So anyway, I start moving the lights over and I start moving the stuff over. And at this point, I'm starting to sweat because not that it's hot in the room or that the work is exerting. I'm embarrassed because this guy, I can see he's staring at me.
All of the bosses are in the room watching you
they're all
struggle
watching
to do this work. Right.
Yeah, they're all watching. So he looks at me and he's like, I'm trying to move the lights. I'm moving the stuff over. And I guess 30 seconds is too long for him. So he looks at me and he goes, are you trying to make this your life's work? So I was like, what does that mean? And I said, Mr. Lewis, give me 30 more seconds and we'll be ready. He goes, 30 more seconds? Fuck you. And by this time, everybody in the room is just howling with laughter. I'm bright red-faced. Yeah.
I love that story.
And then he goes on to, we interview him. We say, hey, what does it mean to get this award? And he gave the most bullshit answer I've ever heard in my life. He wasn't prepared. I don't even think he knew what he was there to receive.
No, he's like, another one of these effing awards. I win these every day.
Dude,
I'm not going to move.
I've met so many celebrities over time, and most times they're just hey, they're just fine, whatever. They're funny, and sometimes you even meet somebody who is even better than what you expect. LeVar Burton went out of his way. He came over and gave me a fist bump because he saw the video I made for him, and he's like, "Brother, that was such a great thing. Thank you so much. It really means a lot to me." There are people who do that, but that Jerry Lewis. Bastard, man. I love it. But you know what? Jerry Lewis, rest in peace. You gave me a great story for parties, and that's what the best part about it is.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's great. Cool.
Can you imagine that? Being yelled at. Yeah.
It's a better story than I was stuck on Siren's Curse.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Sure is.
Yeah. What would Jerry Lewis have said if he was stuck on Siren's Curse? Probably the same thing. Fuck you. Yeah, that was what he would.
I'm not going to move off this track. You move off this track.
Yeah, you move. Yeah. So anyway. Yeah, so I was Martin and Lewis. Dean Martin was way better than Dean Martin was the talent in Martin and Lewis, man. In my opinion,
and you can't consume any Jerry Lewis content.
I know.
Anymore.
See, I'm
even
getting
Jerry
hot.
Lee Lewis. You don't even like him anymore.
Oh yeah, too close.
All of them.
That guy married his cousin.
Is that true?
I don't know what that has to do with anything, but it's the one piece of Jerry Lee Lewis trivia I have. So
okay, good.
Yeah.
Fine.
Hey, we've got trip reports. People called in trip reports from Siren's Curse.
From Siren's Curse. Okay, get back on track.
Yeah,
No
so
pun
we've got a
intended.
couple of them here. So let's take a listen to the first one, see what people are thinking about the new ride at Cedar Point.
Mike and EB, this is that coaster girl T from the D, and
Yeah.
I just got off of Siren's Curse. And oh my gosh, that was fun. Vacoma has a winner with that one. The tilt was very interesting. It was like this floaty hang time, just waiting there. The music was great. It was well themed with the coaster, and they got some good theming going on. So get out here to Cedar Point, get on Siren's Curse. I advise it.
Oh,
Answer the siren's call.
there we go.
Peace out.
Oh, see, even the tagline too.
Got the tagline on there. Good.
Very nice, very nice. We got another one too. People excited about Siren's Curse. Let's take a listen.
Hello, Coaster Radio. I am at Cedar Point. I just went on Siren's Curse, their brand new tilt coaster, which they somehow got open before Codaland.
Oh.
Just been planning to make one for 2 years. Anyways, this ride is surprisingly good. The drop is not what I was expecting. Your stomach just drops as soon as it releases you. The onboard audio is, you don't really think about it getting on the ride, but it's surprisingly good and it really adds to it. There's a ton of airtime. Basically every element in the ride hits with airtime, whether it be a turn or a zero-G roll. You get flung from your seat and it's just fantastic. Really good ride. Definitely a good addition to Cedar Point. But probably would have been better at Kings Island. Anyways,
Oh, maybe so. Maybe so. Well, the rumor was it was going to a lot of different parks
Yeah, Six Flags
before it made it
Mexico,
to
I
Cedar
think.
Point. So
Yeah, but that's a great review. Not just the gimmick of the tilt, but the whole roller coaster is actually a good coaster on that one. That's
yeah.
good.
Yeah, I heard from some people who rode that the actual best part of the ride is there's a triple down into the tunnel,
Cool.
and they have fog and lighting in the tunnel, so that's pretty cool too. So, one of these days we will talk. We'll maybe do an investigative series into one of the videos. It was a live shot from, I guess, a station maybe in Ohio.
Do you have this?
I don't have it. I didn't pull it because I know we're jammed tonight with so much stuff, but maybe we'll do it next week. But I want to get to the bottom of it because Tony Clark, the PR manager, I guess regional PR manager for Six Flags in that region of the country, is riding the roller coaster with a reporter who I don't think was prepared in many different ways for what the live shot would be. I don't think he knew anything about the roller coaster. I don't think he knew. I think he was like terrified by roller coasters, but I also think that he got there late and did not get the instructions.
Didn't get the speech?
Yeah, we heard from somebody who was there that he was late and ran up before the live shot got into the car. So he probably did not hear the safety instructions. And I believe one of them is you were not allowed to put your hands up.
Right.
Especially when you're riding with the Cedar Point representative and you were on live television.
Right, because even though everybody puts their hands up on roller coasters, a lot of the parks don't like to show that in any of their press materials and things like that, because it is the safest way to ride is to hang on. Right.
Yeah. So Marcus Leshock, when he was riding, he started to put his hands up and he's like, oh, yeah, that's right, hands down. And he grabbed the things again. Obviously, they were telling the reporters, hey, keep your hands on the restraints. This guy ran into the shot, probably did not. He was so nervous. And maybe we should just save this for next week because it's such a good. He didn't even introduce Tony Clark as they're doing the live shot.
Nope.
And Tony's looking over at him saying, like, are you going to tell people who I am? You know, any of that stuff. But at one point, the guy says, hey, everybody, hands up. And Tony got mad.
When they go into the first, they do the drop and then go into the first turn, I think, or the second drop. And yeah, he yells, all right, hands up.
Yeah, and so Tony's like, hands down, and he like really admonishes him.
Oh, like an angry teacher. Yeah, I mean, it was a hands down.
Yeah, like I think
that's another one you can Google and find that one.
Yeah, find that one. That's a good one. We might like go into that like the Zapruder film on a future episode of Coaster Radio.
I do love that one. Yeah, we
need to go piece by piece. We'll do that at a later time.
Do that. Cool.
Yes, that's so good.
All right.
So now, hey, I like this. I like anytime there is a new dark ride being built in the country. And there is rumor out there that at Dollywood for 2026, they are going to use a new system from Vekoma that actually has the dark ride cars suspended from a track. And it's very similar to what Mach has been doing. They did that with a couple of different rides in Europe. And they're talking about this possibly for Dollywood for 2026 for a good dark ride. I like this idea.
Well, and people have been saying it's going to be a dark ride back there in the behind, what's it called? The Big Bear Country, Big Bear Mountain.
Right.
And they've been building something back there. And so there's a building coming. This makes total sense. The Mach Rides ride, I think, is floorless and you are suspended with your legs dangling. This ride system from Vekoma it's all powered and you're inside a ride vehicle that has a floor, right? It's much. What's the Peter Pan ride is like that, right?
It's kind of like this, yeah.
Yeah. So you've got a floor to it, but you can still have lots of visibility. The cool thing about this one, though, is because it's powered. Not only are you moving along on this track at a regulated speed, it also has the capability of rotating 360 degrees to point you at what they want you to see, and it has the ability to tilt as much as 20 degrees. So this is really awesome. Cool. And in the press materials and things where Vekoma is showing off this, ride concept, they also are showing how you can have optional sections of lift track, right? So you would park and then you would elevate to another level, and that could all be a part of the theming of whatever this ride vehicle is doing. So it looks really cool. And if this rumor proves true and this is what's coming to Dollywood, that's going to be something really different for that park, which is going to be really cool to see.
Yeah, and something we have not seen in this country. Although, when I saw it, it reminded me of a haunted house ride that I went on at Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, on their boardwalk, where their haunted house ride is suspended. And it's in a vehicle very similar to this. It doesn't have all of the technology and the ability that this one does, but it does feel like you're floating because all the track is above you, and you're kind of like floating and turning towards different scenes. It's really cool.
I think we've seen this Peter Pan or any of these other ones, we've seen this same idea, but this is it's going to be done so much better. Right.
Yeah.
With the ability to tilt, to control the speed, the whole thing. And Dollywood's going to do it right. So this is going to be cool. I hope it happens.
Oh, yeah. Our third quick hit tonight. I don't even know if this counts as a story because Walt Disney World, I guess through their Central Florida Tourism Oversight District, which is what DeSantis down there, Governor DeSantis changed the name, I guess, from Reedy Creek. I don't know. You can go back and all that stuff that they did. But that board has given permission for Disney to build 2 minor theme parks and a major new theme park by 2045. So I've been doing some digging into this. It doesn't necessarily mean they're going to do it, but it means that they are able to.
Okay.
And I don't know if this has always been given permission, because a lot of people were saying online, like, oh, well, this isn't really news because the permission has been there always, but I guess it's just re-upped. The contract is re-upped, so they are able to do it.
Just like affirming the special zoning conditions or whatever. Sure.
Yeah, but here's something interesting that I found. By the way, let me just give you the dates here. So the major park can open anytime between 2035 and 2045. So that'd be like 10 years away at least. But the minor parks could be open by 2030 and 2035.
That's a little bit more something I can look forward to. I know there's listeners right now who are like 2045, and right now I'm this old. Ooh, I might not make it. I mean, when you're talking 20 years in the future, that's a long time. A lot can change in 20 years.
Yeah.
But that's cool. I mean, if we can get it, let's get it.
Yeah, sure.
And these minor parks, what are we talking about with a minor park? What does that mean?
Yeah, I guess, could that be a water park? Could that be, I mean, what does that mean exactly?
Some sort of new experience concept? I don't know. That'd be great.
Yeah, maybe. Here's the interesting thing, though.
Or it's actually spelled the other way, and it's like, we're on the old prospector here at Disney. Yeah. Come on into my minor park.
Exactly.
You dig for gold. The miners. There could be like a Fraggle Rock Doozer attraction. It's gonna be great.
Right. Yeah.
Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. I can think of lots of things you could do with mining as a theme.
Don't they have Fraggle Rock as an IP? They could do something
it's a mine. Yeah, I think that's a great.
That's a forgotten IP. They need to bring that back.
Cool.
Here's the interesting thing I saw that came along with this article, though. They are saying, what was it in 2023? 51.2 million people visited the Walt Disney World Resort.
That's a lot.
They're saying by 2045. That number could be up to 99.3 million people a year.
How do you even calculate something like that? Again, that's so far in the future. Like you can't predict. I don't even know if there's going to be that many people on the planet.
Yeah, right.
By the time we get there,
20 years. Yeah.
The way things are
an old man, I'll be like, come on, 99 million people.
I got 99 problems and $1 million of you bastards. Times 99.
Yeah. Are we still doing the show at that point? Because then we'd be like 2 really old dudes.
We can go and be the miners.
Exactly. They could hire us.
I thought this was a miner theme park.
Oh, man. I've already got the gray hair. Like, all we need is the... You listen here, we're mining for gold. We'd have to just get... we get like lines from Back to the Future 3. I was watching that the other night. Like, there's so many inappropriate lines in Back to the Future 3. I totally forgot about that. What kind of writing is them? K. Some type of engine talk.
Oh boy.
Yeah, remember that?
Yes.
Yeah, that's all. There's a little Back to the Future 3, man. It's in there. So
good stuff. All right, let's do it.
All right,
Time for a fifth gate. Yes, the answer is yes.
Yes, absolutely. And one last one here before I want to play a clip for you that I heard.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever wondered how much theme park executives make? Like, what is their salary? We always know it's exorbitant, but what do you think? What do you think the big guys? Let's say at like Six Flags, what do you think they make per year?
The executive, not somebody who's not a park president, not like a VP of rides and attractions. You are saying the corporate head, of everything.
Like, let's talk about our pal, executive chairman Salim Basul.
Oh, yes.
How much is that guy pulling down in 2024?
I think he consumes about 30 human souls a year. Yeah. I don't know.
So here it is. So basically, they this is from a website called Panaby. Panaby.com that I'm looking here. So it basically says Six Flags executive chairman compensation jumps 277% during merger year.
Sure. Why wouldn't it?
So from 2023 to 2024.
Why doesn't the larger executive simply eat the smaller executives?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So from that year, from one year to the other, a 277% increase, that gets him to $20.3 million. Although they say that was largely driven by stock awards and non-equity incentives influenced by the merger. So they're trying to say that like, hey, it's not exactly what you think. CEO Richard Zimmerman also saw an increase. His jumped only 39% EB to $9.1 million. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and other named executive officers had increases ranging from 40% to 73%.
So the rich just keep getting richer, Mike.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I'm sure, if you're somebody who was let go by the corporation, this is not something you want to see. And I know for people who are out there, it's not as simple as that. There's a lot going on behind the scenes. And yes, executives like that should be compensated for what they're able to do and all that. I get all that too, but still. You lose your job at Six Flags and you're somebody who's worked hard there for 30 years and then you hear that. That's a little hard to swallow, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, it's tough in any organization, when you get 2% and then the boss that everybody hates gets $150,000 plus a giant $250,000 bonus.
Exactly.
Whatever. That's my boss.
Driving around those BMWs, man.
that's my own personal story right there. Just came into the new fiscal year, Mike, with good news.
There you go.
They also cut 1% out of our retirement.
Oh.
So that 2% raise was actually a 1% deal.
Oh, no.
What you gonna do?
Yeah, weird days, man.
All right, what you've got a clip for us now? What clip? I like that we started the show with you saying I can't say the F word, and then you went into a giant story that was just laden with cursing, and now you're going to play a clip that I can only assume is going to be something vulgar and horrible. Are we getting worse and worse as we go on, continuing to play clips?
Thankfully, though, the bleep button works here at
Ending
Coaster
with
Radio.
me with the most vulgar of all, outside with fireworks here in a little bit.
Yeah, there we go. This is a clip I want to play from you from Abby Phillips on CNN. It's not her, but there's a guy. I don't even know the guy's name. He's like a conservative guy who's on all the CNN shows, and it's the same guy. You see him on election night, and like,
is he the bow tie guy?
No.
Okay.
He's just like some guy from Kentucky.
Yeah, they got a couple of them. Yeah.
Yeah, and anytime like they have like CNN leans left, of course, so they got to have one conservative guy on there, and this guy always has the blazing hot take that usually, even if you're a conservative, you probably roll your eyes at this guy because he's pulling from anywhere. He's pulling anything he can.
That's what he's provocative, for, right?
Yeah,
that's what he's there.
Yeah,
for.
That's what they're there for. Yeah, so. I am not playing this clip to take a side, liberal or conservative. I just want to play this clip because I think even though this is a clip about Disney adults, even though we are not a Disney podcast, I think we need to take a listen to what this guy says here. And I want to bring this up because it could lead into some good discussion next week. But anyway, it's this conservative guy named Scott. I believe the setup to this is they asked him what's something that you feel needs fixing, or what is something that is annoying you? And this is what he said. They're going around a round table.
Okay.
When it gets to him, this is what he says.
If you're over the age of 21 and you go to Disneyland or Disney World and you don't have children, straight to Alligator Alcatraz, El Salvador.
But have you ever been to Epcot?
I'm just saying, this is weird, and talk about people that get in the way of things. You trying to take your kids there and you got these weirdos walking around? I'm just saying.
Go to Epcot. It's great for grown-ups, okay?
There we go. So that's Abby Phillips saying, like, you don't know what you're saying because Epcot is cool.
Yeah, yeah. So, and let's just say anybody who says, I hate weirdos, they're actually probably super, super weird themselves.
Probably so. Yeah. Probably so.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this to me is one of the things that's wrong with commentary about things in America right now.
People that walk slow on the sidewalk in front of me ought to be shot in the head.
Right. Exactly.
Really?
It's not even conservative and liberal. It's the people on the fringes of the side where they look at an issue but don't really look at it closely. They just kind of look broadly at something and then say, well, I'm going to apply my thought to all of it. And I'm going to say it as shockingly as possible.
Provocative, right? That's the whole thing. Yep.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. And so this guy probably has seen a couple of videos of adults at Disneyland or Disney World who take it too far. And let's face it, there are people,
of course,
who take it too far. Okay, I'm talking about the people who dress outrageously and like draw attention to themselves and like, hey, let me put myself on TikTok. He's talking about TikTokers. He's talking about people on YouTube who are like, hey, look at me. But he's not thinking about people who might go to Disneyland or Disney World to one of the nice restaurants there or something. Or like just for an adult date at night where you go and like just walk around and see the lights and see things. It's that to me is what is bothersome about just equating this to, hey, let's send people to a detention center. And this guy, I don't even think the thing is with a lot of politicians and commentators who commentate about politics, I don't think they really believe what they say. I think a lot of it is, what can I say that's going to be the most inflammatory, that gets me the most retweets, that gets me invited back onto this television show and to say something outrageous. That's what I think it is.
Yeah, no, I think it's all very performative. It's all very performative. But I will stick to my original comment and say it comes from somewhere.
Yeah, that's true.
It definitely comes from somewhere.
But this gets into the whole thing because we're hearing the term Disney adult get into the mainstream.
Yes, that's a
more and more.
That's a thing that people like to say now. It's like saying, a MILF. Right. Or where like this term happens and then everybody's like, it becomes a thing that everybody talks about and says and makes jokes about. And I mean, here we are. We're talking about, Disney adults. Well, is this what are we doing here, Mike? We setting up a topic for a future episode of Coaster Radio. We want people to think about Disney adults and how do we feel about it? What?
Right. I was thinking this is something that we could do for next week because and I was hoping that you and I could come up with the question together because I want to get people's thoughts on this topic because, yes, we are not a Disney podcast here, but we are a podcast of people who are over 21. That guy was saying over 21. Most people on listening to the show right now go to theme parks, not necessarily just Disney or Universal, but go to theme parks without their kids. Like a lot of people want to go and ride roller coasters, and sometimes you don't do that with kids. I'm curious, like, right now, there's not like theme park adults. We don't hear that, but I'm curious what you think about this Disney adults and how it applies to you personally. And I'm talking to you people who are listening right now. Do people look at you strange when you talk about your hobby at work? Do people think it's kind of cool? Like, what is this branding of Disney adult? And I guess for what we do, like theme park adult. Is that worrisome to you? I guess is what I'm wondering. Or do you not care at all? Is it like, hey, I don't care what commentators like that guy say. I'm out having a good time. That's all that matters. Or are there people out there who are kind of ruining it a little bit?
I think it's derogatory, right? I don't think it's a term anybody would embrace necessarily.
Right.
I think if you're embracing what's intended to be a derogatory term, maybe you should have some self-examination and maybe you're way into something too much, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I've seen videos online of people like taking it a little too far though, especially at Disney. Like,
and those are the ones who would self-describe.
Yes. Right.
Disney adult, right? They will say it themselves. Like, I'm a Disney adult and I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't like that.
I don't know. I mean, I've seen some things online that I wouldn't necessarily partake in.
Okay.
Like people who go to Galaxy's Edge and they all hold the lightsabers up. I wouldn't do that myself. People who go and sing the Rainbow Connection at the closing of Muppet Vision. Like, that's not for me.
These are the people that dress up to go to the movie theater.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's make this be the topic then. What's your experience as a Disney adult, and what are the best examples you've seen of Disney adults behaving badly? Is that the topic?
I think so. And what do you think that means for those of us who love this stuff but aren't nuts about this stuff?
Yeah.
And here's the thing too, EB. No matter what fandom there is out there. Think of look at your NFL team. There are people who go nuts for that stuff, and they dress. And the guys with the big moobs, out there with their shirt off and like the negative 20-degree weather and stuff. Would this commentator look at that guy in the stadium, and say that there's something wrong with that guy?
Send him to Alligator Alley. He likes to tailgate.
Right.
And has a branded cooler.
He's half naked. We need to send him to Alligator Alley. Yeah. And by the way, EB, they're Alligator Alcatraz. They're making T-shirts for that now.
There's a gift shop. There's going to be a gift shop there. Let's not even get started. 65 million meals about to be served. Ooh.
Yeah. Anyway. Let's, So there's the topic for next week. We just want to hear your thoughts on it. Because yes, it does not directly relate to all of us.
But does it make it harder for you as an adult to go and enjoy Disney? That's, I think, is the question.
There we go. Good stuff. Good
stuff.
Let's take a break, my friend. When we come back, you've got some audio from the Monroe County Fair.
Yes,
I'm excited
my
about
county
that.
fair.
We've got another trip report, and then if you're ready,
I'm ready
for the 20th anniversary version of the Sparktacular Exploosioloosa, man.
Let's do it.
It's coming up after this.
This is Coaster Radio. Welcome back to the 20th anniversary season of Coaster Radio. Here are your hosts, Mike Collins and EB.
Welcome back, everybody, to the original theme park podcast. You are listening to Coaster Radio. My name is Mike. I am here with my friend EB. Happy 4th of July weekend, everybody. In just a few minutes, EB is going to risk life and limb by heading outside with some fireworks and lighting them off to celebrate America with you. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Do you have some good ones? Did you do what you normally do and try to find the ones that really have some good sound?
I did. You'll see. It's going to be a mix of classics, and I got a couple. And I do try to pick, looking at the name, and guess if it's this is a whistling thing, this is a popping thing. We'll see. It's going to be fun. But Mike, the show is dropping a little bit later in the week. So there's a good reason. I was working at the Monroe County Fair. We have a county fair here in Indiana. All the counties have fairs in the Midwest, right? This is a thing. For you East Coast people, you might not even know that county fairs are a thing. I didn't really growing up on the East Coast. But here in the Midwest, we county fair, Mike. All week is the county fair. And I thought it would just be fun to share some sounds from the county fair. Our county fair is legit. We have a rodeo. We have a demolition derby. We've got a pig barn, a dairy barn, a poultry barn, a horse barn, all the shows, all the ribbons. They got the old ladies competing to win the quilting contest, the whole nine. But I just thought I'd walk through the Midway and give you guys some flavor of the county fair.
Yes, it's time for the sounds of the county fair. This is the Monroe County Fair in Indiana. Right here is the Dragon Wagon, classic Dragon Wagon with a really nice facade here. With the lights going, a big dragon, a 3D castle cut out above this with knights and jesters. You hear the kids having a great time. The rumble of that track. I'm going to walk over and get close so you can really hear it as it goes around for another run here. It's all little kids and their faces. They're great. All right, walking past a hammer, hit the bell game, ring bell twice, wins choice. We got some mermaids and princesses. On my left, we've got a fun slide. This is the classic rainbow slide with the burlap sacks. People are heading up there. We got a basketball shootout game. The Bouncin' Barnyard Bounce House. That's the thing. Oh, this is great. Here we go. We've got a fun house with an Iron Man, a Sylvester and Tweety, a My Little Pony, a SpongeBob. It's a cornucopia of copyright infringement, Mike, and it's called the Toontown Theater Funhouse. And they are actually playing cartoons on a big screen TV out in front of this thing. Oh, I'm watching a lady almost fall off the rocking steps as she's walking out. Hey, Justin. And now here's the Magic Maze. This is one that the Lure Rides, which is the ride folks that do the rides here at the Monroe County Fair, they always bring this one out, the Magic Maze, a huge fun house that's got a twisty slide finale and a mirror maze on the bottom. But this one has hand-painted artwork with gnomes and mushrooms and a wizard and a castle and big busted fair maidens on both sides flanking the slide in the mirror maze. On my left now, got a big traveling bumper cars. This is another beautiful, beautiful ride from Lear Rides. It's a scooter. Then over on the right, we've got an Avalanche, which is one of these rainbow rides. This is another one that's really, really looking good with LED lighting. It's got that scary depiction of the frightening snowman with the sneer and the growl and the Avalanche letters above the row of seats, about 20 seats across. On my left, as I continue around the circle here of this midway, the Zipper, a classic Zipper. I think this is the first time we've had the Zipper at the fair in a while. I don't remember seeing this last year, but this Zipper looks great. The cars actually have zippers painted on them. That's pretty cool. Next is a Sizzler. It's in motion. A lot of good crowd here. This is a weekday night, but it's armband night, so really good crowd here as we're getting into the evening. A Centrifuge. On my right, a Pharaoh's Fury boat ride. Oh, this is one here coming up that I do not like. It's the hang glider, right? This is the one where you lay down fully on that rubber mat and put your face, your chin right on one of those things, the pad, and fly around in a circle. Very gross. No, thank you. A yo-yo, a swings, a traveling swings. I've seen too many YouTube videos of the traveling yo-yo swing rides collapsing, so I don't think that would be one I'm going to ride. A tilt-a-whirl. Now we're coming around we're past halfway now. Getting to the midway games, we've got a shooting star, where you shoot out the red star with the pellet gun. We've got a balloon pop game. We've got a doot-doot-doot baby shark fishing game. The prizes are not great. I'm seeing mostly generic Biggie-sized plushes, nothing with a brand. Oh, no, here we got some Pokemon at the Water Fun Castle. There's a race underway. There it is, winner at the Water Castle water gun race. And a lucky duck here, grab the duck. Got a basketball shootout, coming around to some kiddie rides. Oh, here's another, we have 2 dragon wagons? This is essentially the exact same thing as the Dragon Wagon, just on the other side of the midway here, except this one is a Cobra. It has also a very impressive facade out front with a couple of sarcophagi, the snakes, and the ride vehicle itself. The train is a Cobra with a Cobra lead car and a nice Cobra tail on that last car, but it's essentially another Dragon Wagon. Here's a Ring the Bottle. That's one of my favorites. Toss the rings, get it on the bottle. Again, just giant generic plushes for the most part. Ooh, this is another water gun race ride, or a water gun race game. But this one has Sonic and Knuckles and Tails. This is great. So I mean, this is the one to play because you can get a Sonic. And I think that's what's attracting people. They're going to do another race. There we go. Right here. We can listen to this one here if you'd like. Here they go.
Number 3. Anybody else want to join in? The more players we have, the bigger that prize. Going once. Anybody else want to join in? Step right this way, folks. Going twice. Last chance to join this race. All right, guys. Not a choice race, but we are going to have some fun with a prize at the end. I'm going to count you guys in. You're going to hear a bell. When you hear that bell, the water will shoot out. You aim it right there into the hole, and the first one to the top is the winner. Are you guys ready? Oh, you don't sound ready. Are you ready? Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go! Brilliant start there for number 3. Here comes number 4, 2, top they go. 3's in the lead, 4 chasing down across the line. Number 3 is the winner. Good job, buddy. You win yourself a kitty cat.
He won a tiny prize. Didn't have enough players to win a Sonic. Got the small prize instead as we continue on here. This is mostly the kiddie section now. It looks like we got a Dragon Wagon. We got a Flying Puppies, which is a totally Blue's Clues. It's blue, absolutely, but painted as Dalmatians. Again, you gotta love the copyright infringement of the traveling carnival rides. There's a little Baja Buggies, spinny kiddie car ride. There's a Crazy Bus, which doesn't look like a kiddie ride, but sure, it's a kiddie ride. But they're going up high in this Crazy Bus. Yeah, SpongeBob, literally, SpongeBob is driving the Crazy Bus in the drawing, or on the airbrush painting. And on the Crazy Bus that SpongeBob is driving is Dora the Explorer, followed by Ash Ketchum and Pikachu. And then there's Scooby-Doo holding a paintbrush for no reason. And now we're in the food area here. We've got a classic bakery with elephant ears lemonade, ice cold pop, a monster bag of cotton candy. There's the Ferris wheel. There's cones and floats. And then back around to the big ticket booth. This, of course, as I was saying, only the rides area of the fair. This is a huge county fair, a really great county fair here in Monroe County. Always a great time. And what a beautiful summer day that we have today. All right, back to everybody. Back to me. Back to you. Back to us.
Oh, yeah. I love a good county fair. I loved hearing all those sounds.
Yeah.
Man, it's so good. So good. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. So it's great. We've got a really nice company that does the rides. I mentioned Lure Rides, and they have a flawless track record, and they keep their stuff really, really nice. It's really clean. I've been to other county fairs where it's sketchy and scary. Our county fair is really nice. So props to our fair board and everybody over there at Lure Rides.
Yep. We have a good one here in the D.C. area, the Prince William County Fair. It's so much fun.
That is a good one, yes.
Yeah. Even though it's close to D.C., you still get a good sense like you're out in the country at that one. So really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
One place that I've always wanted to go, and I'm hoping maybe we can do a meetup there one day, is Alton Towers in England. And it's fun when somebody from the States heads over there and visits. So let's take a listen to this trip report from the UK.
Hey Coaster Radio, I'm visiting Alton Towers for the first time, and we just got off of Wickerman. So if you hear that in the background, that's what that is. My favorite ride so far has been Wickerman. The Smiler was great. We got stuck on the brake run for like 10 minutes, but amazing ride. We got on 13 and Hex, and those were both incredible. I'm hoping to get on Nemesis Reborn before park closes, because it's been down all day. But, hoping to get on that. Thanks. Big fan of the show. Bye.
Thank you so much. Yeah, so Nemesis Reborn. That's one of the things you'd have to ride if you go to Alton Towers. That would be like almost a failed trip if you don't get on that.
Just about. And thank you. That was a great trip report. We're getting the rundown there of forget what great rides are at Alton Towers, but breaking it down there with Smiler and 13 and Wickerman. And and being stuck on the Smiler, that's not something I would want to experience.
No, yeah, I know.
Oh boy, that's scary for all kinds of reasons.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we'll get a follow up. We'll find out if they were able to get on that last ride there.
Yeah. Okay. Nemesis Reborn. Yeah,
Nemesis.
It's really cool that they continued the
rebuilt
story
it.
of that
I love
ride.
that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. Really great. So if you are ready, EB, it is time for the 2025, the 20th anniversary of the Sparktacular Exploosioloosa. Should we do what we always do? Like you start heading out?
I'm going to head out, and then you can join me. You'll have to switch the camera feed. I'll send that to you so you can connect on there. I do believe I have my son Dean standing by. He's going to be my camera operator. Got some good audio. Going to be getting the microphone as close as I can. You'll see that too right here on my phone. So we're going to switch it over. I'm going to head out. You cue up the music.
Okay, so here we go. Just while EB is walking out, I will vamp here for a minute and let you know that this is the 20th year that we've done this. In the very first season of Coaster Radio back in 2005, I lived at my old house in Falls Church, Virginia. And what we did is we went to the local fireworks stand. We bought a whole bunch of different fireworks, and we sent Flava out with a microphone. It wasn't even a wireless microphone. It had a long cable that ran back into the mixer where we were. And it was so great because he put the microphone as close as he could to the fireworks to get the sound, and the sparks were singeing his arm and stuff. It was just crazy. It's something that we continue to do to this day, and I'm pretty excited about it. I hope you guys are too. I think I see EB out there. EB, tell us what's going to happen.
All right, Mike, we're going to go outside. My darling son Dean is doing the videotaping, so let's go. The first one we're going to do is just the classic ground bloom. I don't have a sidewalk. I don't live on a road. We got a big road. Cars are going by, of course, as always, every Sparktacular. So we're just going to do it right here on my front porch because it's the only piece of concrete I have, and we're just going to light it right on the ground bloom.
Oh, here we go.
And
I'm excited.
This is one of those that it kind of spins and makes a fun little zip. Here it goes. Don't want to be too close. Okay, but watch it. Here it goes. I hold the microphone.
Oh my gosh. Listen to this. Oh, wow.
There it went.
That was good.
Spins and does multicolors. That's one of my favorite ones.
Wow.
Okay, come this way, Dean.
That sounded like going back in time.
3 more, and we're not going to go deep into the yard, so we are still close to my house, and we're also close to the road. But I think we'll start with one of the cars going by. Hopefully none of these Saturn missiles will land on the house or the car or me or Dean. So here goes the Saturn missiles, another one of my very favorites.
This is a classic here at Coaster Radio.
Yeah,
These are so good.
The fuse burned my hand. Ouch. No. Here it goes.
First injury of the year.
Saturn missiles.
Oh, nice. Yes. Oh, awesome. I love it. Landed on the house. Oh, so cool. Happy 4th of July, everybody.
Next to a tree. These are kind of under a tree, so they're kind of shooting into the tree a little bit, but that's okay. This one now I'm going to do is called Cosmic Rain. It says, warning, shoots flaming balls. You know how we all love flaming balls, so...
Very risque.
The fuse on this thing. This one's about 8 inches tall. Well, there's the fuse on the side. I did not prepare this one very well at all. It's dark, though. Maybe I should light a match to look for it. No, just kidding. Okay, there's the fuse. We're also lighting this one next to my house.
Oh, no.
And right under this tree off my picnic table.
Here we go.
With traffic going by. Here we go. This is... Here goes.
I love their cars nearby.
Cosmic Rain.
Oh, jeez. What'd it do?
It actually shot up like a big hissing sound, and then it did a little poof up in the sky. The last one we have is a rocket of some sort. This one is called Clustering Bees Rocket.
Oh, bees.
Clustering Bees Rocket. This one is actually a rocket that's sort of on a stick.
Okay.
Happy Sparktacular Exploosioloosa, everybody.
Yes.
Happy 4th of July. Let freedom ring. Might be our last 4th of July. All right, here we go. This is this Clustering Bees Rocket. Getting the match lit. It's traffic. I'm pointing this one. This one literally is in a bottle. In a bottle rocket. Holding the microphone as close as I can.
Oh, here we go. I love it. Oh!
That one actually launched like a rocket.
Oh my gosh.
It kind of did angle towards the road. Did you see the truck was going by? All right, Mike. We'll see you back inside. Sparktacular Exploosioloosa.
I love it. It probably scared the hell out of the guy on the street just driving by. It's so nuts. So there it is, everybody. The Sparktacular Exploosioloosa, the 20th anniversary edition here at CoasterRadio.com. I know there are probably a lot of you out there who are like, oh my gosh, this is a theme park podcast. Why on earth are they shooting off fireworks? But it is tradition, damn it. It is something we did in the very first season, and I love that we do it every year. It's so fun. This goes back to what this show really is. This is a radio show. I know, yes, it's a podcast, but it started off as like a morning zoo style radio show, and I like that some of the things from that first season still exist till now. So good. And I love that EB goes in the backyard, and this year we could see it on YouTube. So very, very cool. So I think EB is making his way back into the house right now. Here he comes. There he is.
When you shoot a bottle rocket, it's in the bottle, but it's like tilted coming out of the top of the bottle. And so as the fuse is going, it kind of like, and it got, and so it did shoot like it was aiming for that truck.
I love it. Did it look like it got close?
It went over. Absolutely, it did. And then, the bottle rockets have these sticks on them. And this was a big bottle rocket, so it had like a real stick, like the size of like the thickness of a pencil. And that doesn't blow up. So that lands on something.
Yeah, right?
I don't know why they sell these.
I love that you live in Indiana where these can be done, because the ones here in Virginia
we got it all.
Are so weak. Mm-hmm. They're so, they hardly go anywhere. So, so I'm glad that you do that. And it's something I look forward to every single year. In fact, when putting together this week's show, we were taking a look and I was so happy it was like close to 4th of July. So it's perfect. Perfect time. So we hope that it put you guys in the right mood and the right spirit for 4th of July.
There you go.
And,
good.
We hope you guys have a fantastic weekend where no matter where
and
you
if
are.
You don't, I'm sending you to Alligator Alcatraz.
That's right.
Because those people are weirdos if they don't like Sparktacular Exploosioloosa.
If you shoot off fireworks
weirdos
in your backyard and you're over 21. Yeah.
I'm a fireworks adult.
Yeah. Hello. How are you?
All right. Thanks everybody for listening. Fireworks brought to you by our friends at patreon.com/Coaster Radio. Support the show at patreon.com/Coaster Radio. Pitch in $1, $5, $10. You do it by the month. You do it by the year, you get a month for free. But yeah, subscribe, pledge some support, and there's perks, there's bonus content. I will just sent out a bunch of postcards and stuff to the Snail Mail Club. Got some birthday club stuff that goes out every single month for birthday folks. It's super fun. So let's say thanks to everybody who supports the show at the $20 level.
Yes, they are Alex Payne, Brian Wackler, Chris Rankin, Cincinnati Nick, the sweatshirt guy, our friends at Club Z, the two bearded coaster Chris's, CM Venom, Colton Toms, Dino, Grace, John Brody, John Brown, and Josh Combs.
That's right. Also, Justin Padilla, Karen Lee Howren, Kevin Wilson, Kyle Kiefer, our friends at Made to Thrill, Matt Walker, Michael Foucault, Paladilos Reyes, Rich Barber, Nick from Paris, Rick Burnley, Shane Mankiewicz, Tom from Louisville, and Zachary Carpenter. I skipped Nick from Paris there for some reason. I had to double back. Okay. Also,
that's all right.
Let's say thanks to our friends at Lindner Design Company, specializing in branding, illustration, and small batch custom apparel. You can find them on Instagram at Lindner Design. Thanks, everybody.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you guys so much for being here. Happy 4th of July. And happy summer to you, no matter where you are in the world. And thank you so much for being a part of the show here at Coaster Radio.
You've been listening to Coaster Radio, the original theme park podcast. To learn more about the show and hear hundreds of episodes from the archives, visit our website at coasterradio.com. This is your announcer, Neil Patrick Harris. Thanks for listening. Peace out, suckers. Coaster Radio is a production of Lift Hill Media, LLC. Audio and video from this program may not be broadcast, edited, or reproduced without our express written permission. Copyright 2025, all rights reserved. This was all done in one breath.